time for another G.I. Joe toy review, but before I get into that, I want to give a shout out to a good friend of mine, Theygone 238. He has been a regular contributor on coffee, so thank you very much, Theygone. I do greatly appreciate it. That money is going right back into the channel to buy action figures for reviews and giveaways. So thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. And while I'm on that note, also Delvis78, he has been another really good supporter. He supported my family and I on my GoFundMe page for funeral expenses for my dad. So thank you very much. It's not necessary for anybody to support me in this manner, but it's very humbling that all of you are reaching out to help me in various ways and help the channel out as well. So my hat's off to you, gentlemen. I really appreciate it. I'll have everything down the description if you want to contribute to coffee or support me on Patreon. So, getting into the review, today we're going to be looking at one of my favorite figures from 1989. It is the Night Viper. He was released as a part of the 8th series. He was on the shelf from 89 to 90, and he was discontinued in 91, but he was still on the pegs in 91. I distinctly recall seeing him on the pegs in 91. How I could remember information like that and not remember the name of a person I just met 2 minutes ago, don't ask me. It is just weird. Maybe because I could associate somehow, but that's not a part of this review. He was originally retailed for $2.99. Now, the Alley Viper I'll be showing you today is the one from my childhood. I remember purchasing him at a store called Yellow Front, which was sort of a general store, not unlike Dollar General. I think this was a little higher end than Dollar General, but seeing that they both have quote-unquote yellow fronts on them, it wouldn't surprise me if they were the same company. So unfortunately, the Night Viper did not make any other appearances in the vintage line except for 89, which I really think is unfortunate because it's a good figure. There's a lot they could have done with it. We didn't see another one until the modern line about 2002, 2004. I can't remember the exact date on that one, but it looked pretty cool. And that was the last one that was made in the vintage style. Then they went into the modern style with the really good articulation and longer, skinnier limbs, and a little bit taller as well. This figure has a lot going for it. Let's go ahead and take a look at this figure. All right, so here he is, the 1989 Night Viper. I also have the Funskool version carded, so you'll get to see what the card art looks like. And there's some variances that I'll point out on the Night Viper. So in 1989, Cobra was Hasbro was getting into the urban warfare section for Cobra troops. And they brought us this fine specimen of the Alley Viper. Now, the Alley Vipers are really, really cool. I absolutely love them, but 89 was the start of the brighter colors that many fans do not like. And the Alley Viper had a few runs in the vintage line, and all of them were pretty garish and unfortunately not very popular with the collectors. At least so people say. But I think there are a lot of closet Alley Viper fans out there, but they're just afraid to admit it in front of their friends. I'm the type of person that really likes the bright colors. They really flash. I think it's pretty cool. Yes, it gets away from the military style, but it's really neat. Cobra has always been known to be a little flashy. All right, so the Night Viper came with several accessories, and I'm going to be very ginger taking these off. It's not as frail as the custom Night Vipers. The custom Night Vipers are made from resin. Here are a few of the Black Major examples. The biggest problem I've run into is the helmet peg. You can see very clearly right there that it's snapped off. It's very thin, a lot thinner than the vintage, and as I said, they're made of resin, so it's a little more frail. So these are very nice examples. I really love the Black Major and the Red Laser customs. Very nice addition to my collection. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at his accessories. First off, he comes with this very cool looking communications backpack. There we go. Has a few antenna on there. Very, very cool. Quite plain on the back. He comes with this night scope. Why they put a hook on the end of it, I do not know, because it doesn't quite go with the uniform. And there's no way to hook it onto the uniform, so that's kind of a weird addition for me. If anybody knows any different, let me know down in the description or in the comments. It also came with this night vision visor. Very nice detail on that. Holes there clip onto the helmet, and this is made out of a sturdier plastic, but the night vision lens just clips right on, or pegs onto the end there. It came with a shotgun. It has a sling on it. You'll see these on the aftermarket with the sling cut off, and it is scoped. Okay, first time I've seen a scope on a shotgun, but it's cool nonetheless. It looks like he has a flashlight on the bottom, and I'll get to that in a minute. And these accessories, they clip onto the pegs here. See, the pegs here on this helmet are a little bit thicker than on the Black Major and made out of a sturdier plastic. So these pegs excuse me, do pop off, do crack off, so be careful with that. I'm surprised these have lasted all these years. But the cool feature here is his shotgun attaches to his leg, but it has the sling sticking out, and that's fine. And it looks really good on there. I'm not going to open this up just yet, but I want to compare the two. And this is something you could easily overlook if you saw one of these on the aftermarket. The Funskool version, the Cobra sigil is a different color. It's a little bit bigger. His accessories are obviously different. He comes with an orange backpack and a yellow scope. And the shotgun looks like it's a little more dull. But since I have the carded example here, I'll go ahead and read the file card on the back. This was released in '95. But you see the card is a little bit thinner. This is from Funskool, India. So it says codename Night Viper, Cobra Night Fighter. Night Vipers are always in training and never see daylight. They live in a windowless barracks with no interior lights. They spend most of their time trying to sneak up on each other. I would think that would cause some serious deprivation. All you have to do to knock one out is shine a flashlight in his face and burn out his sensors. The problem is you have to find him first. Okay, and lies the problem. There's a flashlight on the bottom of his gun. If he comes around the corner and runs into one of his buddies, he's going to blind him and knock him out. So these guys suffer from some severe sensory deprivation, being in complete darkness all the time, and apparently pretty bored because they spend all their time sneaking up on each other. Kind of a silly file card, and I really don't think shining a bright light into their sensor will physically knock them out. I think it'll take them out of commission for a few seconds. Now, temporarily blinding them. As far as physically knocking them out, I doubt it. But if these guys are sensory deprived enough, it could mess with their noodle a bit and possibly knock them out. So this guy, he has a lot on his uniform. You can see that he has a black helmet, completely encloses his face. Has some machine works there on the back of the helmet. I'm sure that's some sort of a communications gear. You just get to see his eyes. I love this insignia. I don't know if you could see that, but it's a skull with a dagger going up through the bottom, and it has some lightning bolts off to the side, kind of reminiscent of the Special Forces tattoo in a way. He has bullets strapped around his right arm. Black gloves. He has some nice elbow pads. Very, very nice. On his torso, he has a knife slung around it. It looks like it's on a special type of padded holster, which I think those shoulder pads are meant to look like he's carrying his backpack, which does line up fairly nicely. It has a very nice gold belt buckle. I'm surprised this survived through the vintage, through my childhood years without it rubbing off. The belt wraps all the way around. Has a little pouch there off to the side. He has this padding on his legs on both sides, and he has more pouches. Strapped on, but this looks like it's some sort of mechanical enhancement on his legs, but no mention of it was made in the file card, and I don't recall something in the vintage file card from the American or the North America line mentioning anything about that. But here on the side, that's where his shotgun attaches. But look out for these pegs on the aftermarket, because you will find them broken off. So study the character or the figure closely if you're thinking about buying him. He has green boots to match his green bodysuit. and a painted on green dagger down on the boot. Alrighty, so this is a great figure. I really like this. It was one of my favorite Cobra figures from the vintage line, still is. Really cool action figure. I snatched him up when I first saw him. I didn't even bother looking through the rest of the pegs. When I saw him, bam, I grabbed him. I had a paper out at the time, so I got paid weekly, and I think it's like 15 or 20 bucks a week, which wasn't too bad for a 14-year-old kid. I mean, kids these days carry that much around for lunch money, so most of that money went to buying G.I. Joe. But a closer look at that insignia right there on his arm, that is pretty cool. I've seen patches of that on the aftermarket. Some fans are out there making Cobra logo patches. This looked great on a t-shirt as well. But the Funskool version, like I mentioned, look out for that, the big yellow Cobra sigil. That's how you know you have the Funskool India. I'm not saying it's an inferior product, it is not. The card is a little floppy, but I don't think they intended for their kids over there to keep these. Also his accessories, different colors, and I think that's cool. It adds a neat little spin to it. And I actually didn't know that these existed, that India had a Funskool toy line. I knew Funskool was around, but I didn't know that they had a G.I. Joe line over there until watching HCC 788's channel, where he did a collaboration with Funskool Rony. So I'll have that down at the bottom here too for you guys to go and check his channel out. He does a great job. Really introduces you to some interesting characters, especially Windmill. Check that one out. They took his code name literally. So, what more can I say about this figure outside of him being awesome? I know. I could say what's on eBay right now, and a segment that some of my viewers have dubbed Byron's Gripes. Now, these are current eBay prices. I checked them out about 20 minutes ago. These are the fixed prices. I don't ever quote auction prices because those really fluctuate. On some of these, I would say be careful of shipping, because some people, not saying that they intend to do it, because eBay automatically selects your shipping rate, given the dimensions of a box or whatever. So sometimes the shipping is a little bit higher price than what they're asking for the toy or item. So in other words, shipping costs more than the actual item you're trying to purchase. And some people ask for a lot in shipping. It looks like to me to recoup a little bit of money for the cost of the item. So just look out for that. So you want an incomplete Night Viper. He has some accessories. He's mainly missing the scope. That's the big part that's missing. $16.79 to $23.99. Keep in mind, this is a troop or army builder, so they always fetch a higher price. Now there is a lot out there of 3 that they are complete and they come with file cards. And I'll get into that here in a minute. Sometimes it's a little bit better to go for a lot because they're cheaper, but in the case of this being $125 for 3 of them, no. I would not pay that for 3 of them unless I had the money and I really wanted to quickly build an army of these for some project. I wouldn't. And that's a fixed price. There was no OBO or better offer with that. Complete with file card, $29.99 to $36.95. Complete with file card. I may pay $29.99. I may. I might take a chance in an auction, and if the price goes up beyond that and I really want it, I will go back and buy the $29.99. So that's another way of looking at it. You want one complete without a file card, $26.85. Okay, that's a little bit better. And you could buy the file card separately and save yourself some money, but you might end up paying that in shipping. So that's something to think about. $26.85 up to $42.99 for a complete Night Viper with file card. $43? No, I don't think so. No accessories at all, just a bare bones action figure. Some of them are missing the pegs. $381 or $881, I'm sorry, to $20.40 for an action figure, no accessories. I would not pay $20.40 for that. I would pay the $881 and buy the accessories cheaper, and you will save money. Again, pay attention to shipping, but yeah, it may save you a few bucks nonetheless. Complete with file card, $75 to $90. Complete with the file card. My gosh, people, really? Are you selling this with a little bit of gold or maybe a few diamond chips or something? Really? $90? Fixed. No OBO. It's a fixed price. If you want the Funskool version that's loose, complete, $25.99. Okay, I would go with that. Get a Funskool Night Viper. No problem with that. I have one. It looks almost the same. Quality of plastic is a little bit different than what we have here in North America, but it is a great figure nonetheless. I have a few loose and incomplete Funskool figures that I really like. It's a good product. So, if you want to build your own, you can. The legs range from $1 to $2.50. The backpack, $1 to $3.95. The gun, $6 to $9.99. And there are a few of the guns out there right now that are selling for $10. The torso, $1.95. Unfortunately, I didn't find the head or arms, but you could slowly build this, but that might end up costing you more in shipping. That's for you to decide if you want to do that. And sometimes it is cheaper to buy one that's nearly an item that's nearly complete and build on it, like I did with my tiger rat back here, and I ended up saving some money. Okay, you want the file card, $3.50 to $6.94, and that's where I'm saying you buy the complete figure and you're not paying $75 to $90. You could buy a complete figure for $26.85 and pay $3.50 for the file card and save some money, a lot of money. So I think that would go up under the deal of the day. A full file card, $11.19. Not bad. They make good wall art. Incomplete with a file card, $16.99. Yeah, I probably would do that and build it up later as I go. But again, pay close attention to how much I pay in shipping. I'll just keep that in a ledger and pay attention to shipping. Mint on card. $169.99 to $179.99. If you're a mint collector, okay, pretty decent deal compared to this one. You want one that's mint on card with an AFA rating of 85. I'm not up on AFA ratings, but I'm sure closer to 100% is better. 85 would be about a B on a grade scale. $300, and I'm sure that seller's trying to recoup the cost that he sent this into the AFA, because they do charge you to grade things, where they have a toy appraiser take a look at it and look, through an eye of scrutiny. So they do charge for that. Like I said, I don't know much about it, but it's going from what I've heard other people talk about in toy shows. That's pretty much how it's done. So no, I would not pay $300. And as being as serious of a collector as I am, I still wouldn't pay that for an AFA graded card. That's just not my thing. I don't do AFA grading. And if it is mint on card, I usually end up opening it eventually. So toys are made to be played with. There are some I still have because I paid it a little bit more than I probably wanted to or should have, that I'm going to keep on the card. But that was the one thing that I budgeted for and bought that one specific item and nothing else. And that was with Bottomax. I just had to have that guy. He is zany. So I kept him on his card, and I probably will never open that up. Bugs my nephew when he comes over and looks at it. Are you going to open this? He's like, no, I'm not. Or put it together. That's what he says. I explained to him that it's already put together. You just open it up. There's no assembly required on these. So, there you have it, guys. Kind of a short review this week. I really appreciate everybody who has subscribed to my channel. I'm up to 161. When I reach 250, I will be holding another giveaway. So please share this video and let your friends know about this channel. I would really appreciate it. This channel wouldn't be as successful as it is right now without you guys, and I can't thank you all enough for that. You've been a great bunch of supporters. As aforementioned, check me out on Patreon and also on Ko-fi. Give this video a thumbs up if you so choose. That way I know that you're watching. Also leave me a comment. I'll be glad to hear from you and answer back. I always love meeting all of you guys. Pardon me, I'm also on Twitter. Check me out there under Joe Motion Videos 82. or under my given name, Byron Kellogg, although I don't use that one as much as I do Joe Motion Videos 82. So this has been my review of the 1989 Night Viper. It's just a shame they didn't have more of them in the vintage line like they did the Alley Viper. So this is Joe Motion Videos 82 signing off. You guys have a great day. Be kind to animals and to each other. Bye-bye.